Does it get any better than this? I would not have thought so, because it is the slice for AFL Play. My name is Rog.
And I'm Star.
And this, as always, is for the playmakers. For anyone who's ever picked up a footy or enjoyed the game from the sidelines. We are going to be serving you a slice of play every week right here on the Slice. Star, how are you travelling?
I love the energy that you brought into the studio today. I feel like I really needed that. And now I got to get on your level, Rog.
How could I not be up and about when today we have got the first ever in-studio guest, aside from the coach of my old footy team, the Banyule Bears, Mark Borg. But we've got former number one draft pick from the Giants, Izzy Huntington, coming in.
So how do you feel about your interview skills? Are you ready?
I think I'm ready. I've been learning from the best of the best with my right-hand woman beside me. So I think with your tutelage, we'll be able to have a fantastic chat with the great lady.
I'm so excited. Should we tell her about the Sledgehammers, our AFL team?
I absolutely think we do. I think we try and recruit her. She does have commitments with the Giants, obviously, in the AFLW. But if we could get her to the Sledgehammers in some capacity, I think that would be ideal. That would almost be my 6-pointer of the year.
Ooh, that's a big call. Speaking of, should we get into our 6.1 point?
Yeah, give me a 1-pointer of the week, I reckon.
You can take it away.
You want me to fire us off?
Yeah.
Well, my 1-pointer of the week is a situation ongoing inside a friendship group that I belong to.
Ooh. I'm
not going to use names for confidentiality, but I'll give you the sitch and I want your opinion on it. I'll actually use you as our hypothetical here. Let's say you and longtime partner Rainsy. So you and Rainsy and a couple of other mates decide that you're going to go to Nepal and you're going to climb Everest.
Whoa.
Not all the way to the top, but like base camp. Or whatever they call it. Let's say Rainsy trains the house down. He's getting ready, prepares himself for the trip. You probably don't prepare quite as well. You don't really do everything you should be to lead up to such a challenge.
Doing some hot girl walks, but not
that's
quite.
About it.
Yeah.
You all fly over to Nepal.
Yep.
You're climbing up Mount Everest, but your legs can't take it anymore because you haven't put the work in. So you need to turn around and go back. There's just a Sherpa that's going to take you back. But Rainsy's been doing all this training and he's booked a trip to Nepal to climb Everest.
Yeah.
Would you expect him to turn back with you? Mind you, you're with a Sherpa you don't know, someone you don't know. You're in a place you don't know. It's dangerous conditions.
Yeah.
Would you expect Rainsy to come back down the mountain with you or to march up the mountain?
No way. Keep going. Don't let me drag you down.
Believe you.
Keep going.
I don't believe you. You can't take it anymore. You do a U-turn and you're by yourself on Everest. You wouldn't want Rainsy to turn
Yeah, but
back?
you're with the Sherpa. You're fine.
Yeah.
But also, I feel like this situation for me wouldn't happen because I get too competitive with him, and I'd be like, "No, I'm not stopping.
Yeah.
Do you need to stop?"
Because in the real life situation, it became a bit hard to climb Everest for her, so she walked down.
Is this a true thing?
True story. And he kept on climbing up, and it's had dramatic effects on the relationship to the point where there is no more relationship.
Whoa. But it's not. It's like about you individually as well as the pair going together, right? What do you think is the right thing to do?
Oh, I think you 100% climb up the mountain. But most people I've talked to, especially in the female camp, think that if you've signed up to a challenge together and one half of the party can't commit to the task, can't complete it, you're a team. So one domino falls, all fall, and we're in it together.
But I think as long as you're going to be safe and you're going to be okay, of course the other person should keep going.
Yes. All right, well, I'm glad that you're on the same page. That's just caused some controversy for my week.
There you go.
But the 6-pointer for me, and I'm not even going to say the name of the show, right? Because I don't want to. I don't think legally I'm able to. But there's a certain show that goes on all across the country, and it's where you can win a whole lot of money on TV. I auditioned for the show, and I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I am near certain that I'm going to be on the show, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to win $200,000.
Whoa!
The producer of the show actually happened to be in the crowd of a pub trivia that I hosted during the week and was filming me. Didn't realize that I was. That I noticed them filming. So I'm pretty sure that I'm going to be on the show and I'm pretty sure that I'm going to win the $200,000. The number that I will pick is for the, I'll say it's deal or no deal. The number that...
You're going to be on deal or no deal?
The number that I'm picking is the number that I wore my first premiership in at the Banyule Football Club, number 3. And when that was a historic first premiership, by the way. We didn't win a game for 3 years before then. So I think wearing that, having that number will ride me good luck. $200,000 and I'll shout you a coffee.
Oh, yes, please. Can I at least get a large with oat milk?
Medium, and you can have a complimentary biscuit with it that they bring.
Well, please remember us when you hit the big leagues.
Yeah, I will. How could I forget you, Star?
Okay, my 6.1 point this week is kind of wrapped up into one. It's something that didn't happen to me. It wasn't fun for the person who had to experience it, but as an observer of the situation, it was really funny. So you know how in a lot of cartoons there are those things that always happen and you think that's just something that happens in a cartoon, it doesn't happen in real life. For example, slipping over a banana peel. How many times have you slipped over a banana peel?
More times than I can count. I used to work at Boost Juice and it would just every second day, bang, I'm doing cartwheels.
Well, Matt Rains and I, my boyfriend,
Rainsy! You're guilty.
We were out for dinner the other night and we decided let's get some ice cream afterwards. You got to have a little sweet treat. As we all know, I'm a big advocate for that. And he's got his ice cream. He's got 2 scoops. He's so excited. Probably just paid $14 for this. And he's licking away at his ice cream.
Oh, no, don't tell me.
I turned around and both of the scoops fell out of the cone.
The double scoop
onto the ground. And I just turned around.
Crazy.
And obviously my knee-jerk reaction was, I need to take a photo of this.
Yeah.
And he is just so upset. He's just lost his ice cream and he's holding an empty cone just going, what just happened?
That's not real life. Rainsy, when it rainsy, it pawsy. And it's rained all over the floor, his ice cream. What flavours?
I think he got like a salted caramel and a chocky.
This is why you've got to go, and we've had this conversation before, but it's the last time I'll say it, you've got to have your ice cream in a cup, not a cone. Cone is dangerous and you're on a timer. The sun melts it and then it's gone cup. It's all contained inside the cup. You're at no risk of it falling on the floor.
Well, I potentially changed my ways now because of this incident.
I'm glad.
Should we get into the interview?
Let's get stuck in. What a joy it is to be joined on the slice by former #1 draft pick all the way from the Greater Western Sydney Giants, Izzy Huntington. How are you?
I'm good, thanks, Rog. Pleasure to be here.
Absolutely. Welcome to the slice. Now, the slice is all about community footy. It's about how you got into the game, and we love what you're doing at the Giants at the moment. But what was your journey like into football? How'd you start kicking the pigskin around?
Yeah, I've been doing it for a while. Like a lot of other women's players, I had a bit of a different one. I actually started from an early age, though. I played Auskick at age 5. I had 2 older brothers, so that probably helped a little bit. But started Auskick and played junior footy, but I was the only girl in that scene at that time, so running around with all the fellas. So yeah, did Auskick there and then played for the East Sandy Zebras from under 9s to under 12s.
Yeah, the Zebras is a great name, isn't it?
They're a footy factory too. They've had a few big names come out of there.
You've gone from the Zebras to the Giants. Like, that is peak name. Peak name.
I know, the Zebs,
What was the Zebras song?
It was the Richmond song.
Oh, well, you've nailed it there as well, because, Star, you may not know, but the GWS theme song is infamously the greatest song of all time.
Without question.
And so is the Richmond songs right up there as well.
Well, right up there, but, you know.
Yeah, not
doesn't
quite the
rival
Giants.
Yeah. A good reason why I came to the Giants was for the song, I'll be honest.
Absolutely. So you were at the Zebras. What were your memories playing there?
Little Lightning Premiership in our first year, nothing better. Yeah. One of the highest honours, Star. Yeah, so that was pretty good. We're a pretty good team, as I said. Yeah, a few come out of the footy factory of the Zebras, which is good. But yeah, I don't know, just a good bunch of guys that I played with. Again, it was a bit odd being the only girl, but so cool to see how far it's come now.
Is there a standout person from the Zebs that you remember?
I was actually going through all my photos from back in the day a few weeks ago. And I can remember like everyone, all of the boys and whatnot.
Yeah.
I'd love to know where they are now, you know.
Yeah.
I've got a few mates still, but I think my first coach, Jay Watts, was an absolute legend. He really took me in, obviously was feeling pretty intimidated rolling down to the first training session.
Not Jack Watts, former also #1 draft pick in the AFL.
Well, he was there. He was a Zeb.
Whoa.
So,
Was he?
but not related to Jay Watts.
There you go.
Unfortunately. But
I'd take the claim, honestly.
Yeah, he came out. I think he presented me my first medal, Jack Watts, actually, at the Zebs. But
There you go.
it was Jay Watts, a coach. He was really awesome, really made me fall in love with the game. So, yeah, big influence.
Well, obviously, becoming the #1 draft pick, that's not something that happens by accident. What do you reckon really set you apart in your juniors, patterns of behaviour that you might have done that started there that really led you on the path to be the best in the business?
Ice baths from under 9s, you know, strict regimented diet.
No.
Absolutely not.
I was going to say.
Absolutely not. No. I don't know. I just always really loved the game. So played for a few different clubs, South Melbourne after the Zebs, and then Melbourne Uni is where I started playing women's footy. So I was probably 12 or 13 when I started doing that. And I think that was a really great club as well. Like they were really well supported in the women's space as well, real pioneers. So yeah, I feel like I just sort of was on the right pathway with that and then just really loved it and then started getting into more of the rep stuff later. So that obviously helps and that's where you build more of the professional habits. That's where the ice bars come in. But yeah, I don't know. I just really loved the game and enjoyed it. Like you probably don't need to be doing too much when you're in juniors.
Yeah, you're
probably
right.
a concern if you're, hitting the ice bars in the gym at age 9. But yeah,
I was like, that's impressive.
Yeah, absolutely.
no chance. So yeah, here we are now.
Yeah, absolutely. And you have become, obviously, the fantastic footballer that you are. But it has been a difficult journey for you with a few injuries along the way. How's the body holding up now? And I'm sure it would have taught you a bit of resilience along the way.
Yeah, for sure. I'm really good at watching footy now from the sidelines. I've done a lot more watching than I have playing in my career. So we're getting there though. Yeah, it's good to be back out there. So I returned in round 3 this year from my 3rd ACL. So yeah, it's awesome. It's been great to run around and get a few games under the belt consecutively, get through unscathed and have a few wins.
Is that something where you've lent on other people that have like gotten injured? Because there are some famous examples I know in the men's game, like your Alex Johnsons and whatnot, that have done like 5 or 6 ACLs. Have you lent on anyone to help get you through those sort of, I'm sure, dark patches?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, funny you actually mentioned Alex. We've got a bit of a crew that have done a heap of ACLs that we keep in touch with. So I know AJ pretty well. And yeah, I guess a lot of people that have done knees and know the experience you're going through. So particularly at the Giants, my best mate, Fooper, we call her, Isadora McClay. She recently debuted 2 weeks ago, but she was going through the rehab with me at the same time. So yeah, just became really close with her and we certainly lent on each other a lot of rants, a lot of, getting through. So 100%, I think if people are in similar experiences to you, it's obviously easier. But yeah.
And if you could give some advice to a young player watching this who's potentially going through an injury right now, what's like one piece of advice that you would give them?
There's light at the end of the tunnel. It might not seem like it. I think often with injuries, Roger was complaining about the niggles before their tough work.
Yeah, I actually
I
jarred my big toe and it sort of kept me out for a month.
I'm feeling for you, so listen in here, Roger. Just want advice. But no, I think, it can be really tough at the time, but it's all worth it at the end, I guess, if you get through it all. Like, it makes the journey a lot more exciting, I guess, knowing that you've been through that tough run. But also, I don't know, I think, like, mentally and physically, you can become a lot stronger as well, going through a rehab process and actually focusing more on your body and whatnot. So
was there kind of one thing that got you through that period, or is it like focusing on your rehab, people around you?
Probably having a bit of balance as well, like realising that footy is not everything. You have to do that, I guess, after a few knees and just knowing that, it'll all be better soon and you'll be able to get back on the field.
Well, I'm glad that it is better for you, Izzy. But going back to a time when football was everything, it still is everything for me, but when it was everything even more so was when you are growing up, you're playing the juniors. Obviously, when you first started playing, when you were playing with the boys, there probably wasn't much of a pathway for you to make it to the elite level. What was that experience like growing up and then seeing the transformation where AFLW's come in and all of a sudden it was an option and you've dominated that option and gotten yourself into the league?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I guess for so long, I didn't think it was going to be a pathway. Like, I think at first I was kind of in that young, ignorant stage where I thought, I could just play with the men, like whatever. I used to say, that's what I want to do when I'm older, play with the men. And then it got to the point where I was a bit older and they were telling me like, oh, you're going to have to hang up the boots at 14 because girls can't play with the boys then. So that was pretty rough. I remember a few things, like I think at school footy, I got told initially that I wasn't able to play, I think when I was 12 or something, and had to give it up. And then a few of the teachers at school really went in and fought for me, and we got some of the rules changed, so that was good, I guess.
That is phenomenal. Like, change the rule book forever or bent it for the one?
Yeah, forever.
That is sensational.
Epic.
You've got a trailblazer in the building.
Oh, no, I had good people around me to do it, so that was nice. But, and then I think I was maybe 16 or 17 when the league got announced, so that was pretty crazy because I think the timing was almost just perfect for me, going, shit, I'm actually going to be able to, have this as a career. So, yeah, it's been pretty wild. I guess never thought I'd really be here or that AFLW would be at this point. So it's so awesome.
And how has it been going back for you? I imagine you do occasionally go out to grassroots footy again, and you'll see now the girls' teams running around, and I'm sure they look up to you for a bit of inspiration. That must be an incredible full circle feeling for you.
Yeah, it's unreal. It's pretty surreal going down. Like even a few years ago, going down to my old clubs and whatnot and seeing like Auskick fields just full of girls, like hundreds of them. It's just crazy, I guess, coming from being the only girl. And like I think from Auskick to under 13s when I had to stop with the boys, like I didn't play against any girls either. So it wasn't just in my team, it was like across the whole league that there weren't any. So it's like, where, you know, the fact that AFLW can change that much in such a short amount of time, and then now there's hundreds of girls running around is so awesome. And it's like, gee,
so exciting to think about what the future's going to be.
Yeah,
like then.
I know. Imagine if we'd started this like 50 years ago.
Yeah, it's incredible. But that's the
crazy.
exciting thing to look forward to. You know, that this is just beginning and where it's going to go. But obviously you grew up as a footballer. You're a pure footballer. You played with the boys. And in the AFLW, there are a lot of women coming in that are athletes more than footballers. Have you felt sort of a leadership role where you're showing them the sort of fine nuances of footy along the way?
Yeah, I guess so. I think it's interesting. It's been so cool to have so many players from like different sports come in because their talent is insane, particularly like athletically. So yeah, I guess the girls are probably that have played longer have a bit of responsibility to teach more on the technical and kind of probably more the footy IQ side and understanding the game. But it's cool, and it's like I think we're only going to see more and more of these incredible athletes playing the game going into the future, and it's really exciting.
We love talking about pre-game rituals and what we do to get hyped for things in our life. Do you have a bit of a pre-game ritual that you lean into?
I'd like to think not, because I think
Not a superstitious type?
Yeah, you always have a few teammates that are a bit whack. Superstitious. You're like, I don't want to get that far. But I probably do actually. Like, we're pretty rigid about it all.
Yeah.
I've recently, like the pre-game meal the night before, I've been pretty strong on this cacio pepe from
Cacio pepe.
Yeah, from the supermarket. It's like this
Is that just
pre-made
cream and pepper?
Yes, some sort of cheese. It's delicious.
Oh,
but
magic.
there's this really good one that you get from this bougie supermarket, and I've been right on that. And then I guess a bit rigid about things, you know, timing into the game, but nothing too crazy. Like I know some girls have like pretty insane.
What about your tunes before the game to make you feel like you want to run through a brick wall? What
There's a bit of that in the car. I like a car ride there, so it's good when you're playing a home game because you're not on the bus. Got a bit of a playlist, but then when we get to the ground, it's one of our teammates is DJing on deck for that, so not much of a choice there, but we
on
trust
the
her.
decks.
Genuinely, yeah.
Now we've actually started our own team. It's called the Sledgehammers.
Yep.
It's not a real team yet. It's more of a concept, and we're called the Sledgehammers because we go straight through brick walls. We don't run away from brick walls.
I could tell that the moment I walked in.
Yeah, exactly right. I'm sure we would love to recruit you as a member of the team. But what we do want to know is if you were to come down to the Sledgehammers, obviously you're committed to the Giants, so we can't really ask you to play. We can't risk any more injuries to you. But what role could you see yourself playing at the Sledgehammers? Are you the steamer of the dim sims? Cutter up of the orange slices?
I could be,
Are you the goal umpire? What role really appeals to you?
Goal umpire, I reckon, actually. I'd be into that.
Wave
Yeah.
the
Give it a
flag.
crack.
Yeah, you need a bit of agility, so I don't know how the knees would hold up. But if you got the old school coats, the science
how
lab
good are
coats,
they?
I don't want any of that new fluoro uniform. I'm into the coats.
I want to get one of those and wear them to a music festival. I reckon that'd be
that'd
phenomenal.
be great.
Go
I reckon
down
I
real
could
well.
practice with the flags. Yeah,
well,
so sign me up if there's space, obviously.
Oh, well, you give me Sledgen vibes already.
That's what we call it.
Sledgies, Sledgens, that's the name of
How
our
many people are on
place.
the team?
2 so far.
Oh, cool.
Us two are in it. There's a bit of a conflict where Star wants the team to be about fun and happiness, and I want it to be about winning at all costs. And that's a conflict that we're working through at the moment. And then once we've figured that out, we're going to establish our list.
Yeah,
we actually did some
Culture,
design.
values.
We did some design work the other week of what our kind of uniform would be, and
Yeah.
I drew angel wings on mine because I thought, you know, you can fly into the field, and he's getting annoyed already. And Rog wasn't really on board. I was kind of inspired by Victoria's Secret fashion show, and Rog
Beautiful.
thought, no, this is not it. So we're still ironing out some things internally,
okay, all right.
but we'd love to have you on board.
Okay, it seems like a great culture. I'm in.
When it's ironed out and when we do get it my way, you'll be locked in as the goal umpire. But
Thank you.
as for now, would you be down to play a bit of a game of word association?
Absolutely. Yeah, let's go. I'm
Absolutely.
usually shocking at these things, so
All right.
let's see.
So how it's going to work, we're going to throw a word at you and you just
Yep.
give us the first thing that comes to your head.
All right,
All
Jen.
right. Canteen.
Canteen. Sausage roll.
Beautiful, great call. Giants theme song.
Best song in the league.
It is, it
The
is.
reason I moved to the club.
It's a big, big sound. It's actually unreal.
The
Banger, worldwide banger.
The sledgehammers.
Culture, premierships.
Yes. Yeah. Premierships.
Premiership, culture.
Yeah. What about Alan McConnell?
Alan McConnell, legend.
Yeah,
Yes.
legend even. Alan McConnell can be the coach of that
legend.
team.
Yeah.
Our branding is really strong.
Alan
It's already
McConnell being
working.
coach of the Giants, obviously, for those that may not be aware.
Okay, dim sims.
Delicious.
Grand final,
Best day on the calendar.
which it is. And you'll be there soon.
Yes.
No doubt. Do we have a bit of belief?
100%.
We will get there, the
100%.
Giants.
I
Absolutely.
thought we were talking the Sledges.
We'll do it both.
What league are we in?
Maybe we do get a gig in the AFLW and it's a bit of Legends versus Giants in the big dance.
You got to aim high.
That'd be something pretty
Okay, brick wall.
Well, you too.
good. Yeah, that'll do nicely. And finally, number one draft pick.
Draft pick. All the other girls that have picked recently and are doing well.
I think of you, Izzy Huntington. Thank you so much for coming on to the Slice, and we can't wait to see the work you've got going on at the Giants for the rest of the season.
Thanks so much, guys. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. Can we get a up the sledgehammers, down the barrel?
Absolutely. Up the sledgehammers.
Up the sledges. And I'm sad that Izzy's gone. I kind of want her to come back.
It is a bizarre moment for me where hosting the Slice and the two guests we've had on the show so far is my reserves football coach, Mark Borg, and number one draft pick in the AFLW, Izzy Huntington. But she was an absolute superstar, a legend. I'm glad that she could really take us on the journey of how she's gotten to this point.
Yeah, it was a really good chat, and we hope that you got something from it too. And that brings us to the end of the app, Rog.
Absolutely. It's another episode of The Slice in the books. If Izzy Huntington was only our second guest, number one draft pick, can't wait to see who else we have in store in the weeks to come.
Oh, me too. And make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss an episode. Follow us on socials at AFLPLAY. We're on Instagram, TikTok, and obviously YouTube because that's where you're watching this. We will be back next week at 6:30 with another episode. But if you can't be bothered to remember that, just make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss a thing. Bye.
Yoo! The Slice, presented by AFLPLAY, is hosted by Star MCG and Connor Rogers.
The Slice is recorded and produced at Amplify Studios situated on Gadigal land. We pay our respects to the traditional owners of the land and waters in which we record on.